Welcome back to Mountain Connections. Right now we are so excited to have the president and CEO of the Park City Chamber, Jennifer Wesselhoff, right here in studio. Jennifer, it's great to see you.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here in person.
In person, it's great to see everyone in the flesh. It's nice that it's safe, and that brings us into our first topic, actually, is how things are going within our small mountain town post-pandemic, or at least post-pandemic for where we are right now. There's still things going on, there's still concerns, but we're seeing a big difference within our mountain town.
We are. I think we are approaching this new normal and what that looks like. I think we're very fortunate to be in the position that we are in terms of the outdoors and the great quality of life and product that we're able to offer both for our residents and for our visitors to be outside and enjoying the fresh air and spreading out. That's something that's very attractive right now to visitors from all over the country, really. We are seeing our numbers come back. We're seeing visitors come back, lots of locals getting out there and enjoying the town. We aren't necessarily seeing any international business, which made up a pretty big chunk of our summer business and winter business in particular. We don't anticipate that to come back for quite some time. Which is good, because I'm not sure if we want to come back at 100%. You know, I think we want to ease into it, make sure that our employers are ready and our employees are safe and our people are vaccinated. And then also on the group side of business, our group side was really a strategy that our organization used for many years to try to fill up need periods. So when I say need periods, I mean specifically Sunday through Thursday and also summertime. So the group business isn't quite coming back yet. We are starting to see signs of recovery for group business for future bookings, but we'll continue to be a little bit off in terms of a normal year until we get that group business to come back and that international business to come back.
Which makes sense, and you're right. No one's, I think, quite ready to jump all in right now.
Right.
But that being said, when you compare occupancy rates, at least through, I believe, mid-June to last year at the same time, it makes sense that it was much more, but quite a bit more increase when you compare those two time periods.
Yeah, right now we're sending out reports every other week that show our occupancy compared to last year, which isn't a great comparison because things were just so different last June, last July. So we're also including a report that compares it to 2019, which is what we're calling a normal year. But we're still off compared to occupancies in June last year, but the forecast is looking really positive, which is good news for our employers, good news for our businesses, good news for our employees, and for our city and county who really rely on those tourism dollars to pay for all of the great things that we get to enjoy as citizens.
Well, and after such a tough year, actually over a year, it was so hard for many businesses who had to completely shut down. We're a small mountain resort town, so when tourism stopped, our town pretty much stopped. It had to.
Yeah.
So do you feel like now there's a sense of optimism within the business community?
Yes, absolutely. I think we're all feeling incredibly grateful for the position that we're in right now. The biggest challenge that our businesses are facing, we recently did a partnership survey and asked them a lot of questions, got some great information back. Their biggest challenge right now is employees and employee shortage. So you're starting to see some restaurants closing at 3 p.m. or not opening for lunch and only opening for dinner, or closing on Mondays and Tuesdays in order to keep the staff for their busy time frames. You know, it's such a big issue and interconnected at so many levels. It's an issue not unique to Park City. It's definitely a challenge all over the country. Especially from where I came from in Sedona, same issues in mountain towns or resort towns where the cost of living is a little bit higher than, or in some cases a lot higher than what you would expect in other places, and just the competition for workforce is it's really tight right now. I'm not sure if we have any answers. We have some resources. We'll be presenting a workforce panel discussion on August 31st. In conjunction with the county and the city. We'll be bringing someone from the Utah Department of Commerce, someone from Workforce Development Services to talk about the issues, to talk about what resources are available for our businesses. And we'll be inviting Jeff Jones, the Economic Development Director from the county, to present some really interesting data that he's shared with us about the cost of living here in Park City and the cost to be an employee and what we need to pay employees in order to be competitive with similar positions in surrounding counties. So it'll be interesting. I'm hoping that there are some resources available, but it's a really big, complex issue.
Absolutely is. And I know that as you're trying to balance all these different things, occupancy rates not being quite where you want them to be, a labor shortage within many businesses here, that's a lot. And we're heading into the fall, into the winter season. We'll be here before we know it, which is exciting for many of us.
Yeah.
But what you mentioned, and I want to focus on, is that you are a resource for these businesses. You're here to support them and to also bring in the tourism when it makes sense in a way that is right for us. So moving to end of summer and into fall, any other plans that the Chamber has?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm most interested in and most excited about for the upcoming year is about sustainable tourism planning. A lot of the tactics that you talked about, dispersion and seasonality and bringing the right visitor to Park City when we need them, are all tactics of a sustainable tourism plan or a destination stewardship plan. That's my expertise. I came to Park City from Sedona, where I developed the first Arizona Sustainable Tourism Plan, and we're hitting the ground running to do the same thing here for Park City. In fact, later this month, we'll be launching the first step of that process. It's a Global Sustainable Tourism Council, it's a mouthful, assessment. We'll bring in a third-party global nonprofit organization that will come in and assess us as a community. They'll look at our policies, they'll look at the implementation and execution of those policies, everything from destination management, which is that quality over quantity, that seasonality piece, all the way through to water conservation and energy conservation and water quality and safety and security. So we're really excited. They'll judge us on over 40 sets of criteria, and at that point we'll have a benchmark and we'll know just how sustainable we are as a destination, as a community, and then we'll know where our gaps are, where do we need to improve, what are our next steps, and how do we move forward together as a community with the same vision in mind.
Well, Jennifer, this has been such a fascinating conversation. I appreciate your optimism, but also your honesty and where we're at as a town, and you're a really great resource, and we're very lucky to have you right here with the Chamber. So thanks for being here on Park City Television.
Thanks so much for having me. I can't wait to come back.
All right, you can find out more about the Park City Chamber at visitparkcity.com. It's an excellent website with great resources for businesses, also visitors, calendars, events, all the things you need to know about our great mountain town. It's right there. And thanks again to Jennifer for being here with us today. We'll be back with more right after this.